16 hours, chocolate everywhere, and we destroyed the production studio. And this is what we're doing. So a few months ago, I was hired by Greenhouse Foods. They create healthy donuts, and they told me that they wanted me to go crazy with this video. And so what we did is I had them come up here and we made donuts in the studio, and we just got wild with it. We did everything we could. I'm gonna be breaking this tutorial up into 2 parts, and the first is gonna be how I shot all of these shots, and then the second is gonna be how I edited and did all of the effects for this video. And the second tutorial is gonna be exclusively available in my product video course. So if you're interested on how I edit this video, the link to sign up for the product video course is in the bio below. All right, so enough talking and let's jump in. Welcome to the Terror Dome. What we're doing now is we're doing the slow motion shots. And what I envisioned is that we're gonna have sprinkles flying up, we're gonna have donuts flying up, and then eventually we're gonna have glaze, but we're gonna do this first. You always start with your least messiest shots to your most messiest shots and work in that order. And this is somewhere in the middle right now. We are using the Ursa Pro G2, and I'm shooting at 300 frames, 1080. We pretty much formed a force field of light around what we're gonna do right here. But let me explain this. This is my pride and joy that I invented on accident during one of my short films that I made for a short film contest. It was a horror film, and we actually had a yellow, this is latex, and we built a frame of wood with 1x1 wood beams, sticks. And then we took a sheet of latex that we bought, industrial latex that we bought online. And so we're gonna have somebody stand right underneath here and pull this and go pow. And it's gonna have all these sprinkles fly up. We're gonna put some donuts in there too. It's gonna be beautiful, shooting that in slow motion. Then we have our 2 aperture lights and our 1 Godox, and we're cranking these all the way up because we are shooting in slow-mo. And we have our Nova back there spilling blue onto the background just to give us a little bit more blue than what the background's actually doing, and that's what I love about that RGB light. First things first with doing something like this is that after setting up all the lights, what's really important is to get your spotter because we're not gonna be moving at all. And so Alex is gonna stick his hand in there for where I think that the sprinkles are gonna fly. It might change, and I'm gonna pull and lock my focus off. We're gonna stick this on manual because we don't want this to go anywhere. And that is where we're gonna keep it. And then in post, we can push in, pull out, do what we wanna do. But this is the most important part right there. So this next shot that I want to talk about is how I got this donut right here floating in midair while we had chocolate and sprinkles going. We took my custom stand that I made, which is just a skewer and a Ronin S tripod legs, and we stuck it up like this. We put the donut on top and we stuck it through the hole. And then I had Kendall and Alex, one with a cup of chocolate, the other one with a box of sprinkles, and we timed it. It took us so many tries, but each time, because we were trying to sync it, the chocolate had to hit first, otherwise the sprinkles wouldn't stick, and there's too many times where they're too close and you couldn't tell. So we had a lot of attempts at it, and then in post, what I did is we used simple wire removal with some other fine-tuning techniques that I'll show in the editing process. And this shot right here was actually used with the same technique. So the next shot that we did was the donut drop. And the way that we did that is I had to get on top of the table with my iFootage tripod, and we extended the legs all the way up, put the Ursa facing bird's eye down. And then we poured a bunch of chocolate onto the table. This is where it got really messy. We had Alex hold his hand with the skewer so we can line up the center, and then we had the other person holding the donut, and then he'd raise it up, aiming it so it'd be directly center, and then right at the same time he'd let go both of his hands to make sure that it drops evenly, and we sprinkled little sprinkles at the same time, and then boom. The next shot was one of my favorites. It was the last shot of the night, and it was the coffee cup shot. And that was actually all shot in camera. It was pretty cool. I thought this idea up in my head, and I wasn't sure if it was gonna work, but what we did is we took a C-stand in and hung it over the coffee cup that we placed on a table, and then we would take fishing line, and we'd string them out, cut them, and then tie the donut one at a time. And every single time we had a layer on top of the next layer, I would get the shot just in case, because we had donuts breaking left and right and we were running out of donuts. It was getting nerve-wracking. And then right when we had the clean shot, then I had them pour sprinkles into the cup as the last shot. In post, I was able to remove the wire with some simple wire removal and Photoshop. So for all the rest of the shots that you see, this is what's gonna kind of be part of part 2 of the tutorial. But the way that I shot it was I used my Lazy Susan and then my custom stick stand that I built, and then I would stick each kind of donut, each kind of bag on top of that and get clean shots of that. And then from there, that's where all the magic happens in post, and where I'm gonna show you guys in part 2 how to create this. And what's the coolest part about these techniques that I'm gonna show you in part 2 is you can literally create whatever your mind can come up with or imagine. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was messy, wild, and so much fun to create. A lot of work, one of our longest shoot days. I think we were topping around 16 to 17 hours. I didn't get done until 4 a.m. with the shoot cleaning up, and my shoes are still destroyed from it, but that's okay, because I buy $20 pairs of shoes, and that's the trick. But other than that, I hope that you guys like this. If you really want to learn how to do the editing process of this, check out the product course in the link below. And until next time,